the time for federalism has come to our country. We have to move away from the style of unitary form of government. And for the time, it was good because we were developing as a nation.
No democratic country has ever attempted to shift from unitary to federal and from presidential to parliamentary at the same time. So we do not have the scholarly literature to guide us. And that means that intellectually we're on our own.
Sa kadaghang panghitabo sa atong nasod, andam na ba kita sa sistemang federalismo? Ania ang mga pipila ka mga tao nga magpasundayag sa ilang mga panglantaw ni aning sistemaha. Karon kay nidaog man si President Bongbong Marcos niya ang iya pong katandem nga si Vice President Sara Duterte na ay mga isyu o mga istorya-istorya nga ni usbong nga posible daw sa administrasyon ni Marcos usbon ang atong nasod sa gikan sa pagka-republikan democratic himuon niya o parliamentary federal. Aware ba ka sa unsa ang federalismo?
Federalismo, maayo man ang federalismo kay murag naman kay sariling government sa kada kuan nato by region. Halimbawa, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, murag na ana tay mga representative nga gikan sa tuwa. Sa federalismo, sa sigon sa mga ibawaan, ang atong income murag diri na nato i-penetrate, like for example sa ato Region 7. So maayo man ang federalismo. Kwan po sa ubang nasod, murag ang ilang government ito federalismo mayo pagpanagan. Depende lang siguro gina sa leadership. Pero ako murag nakita ko na nga na may maayong patungnan, basta maayo lang ang maayo lang ang naramalagi na sa leadership ko, naranas management.
So kung ikaw si President Bongbong Marcos Vice, muuyon ba ka nga ipadayon ang imong gipropose nga himuon ang Pilipinas nga usa ka parliamentary nga federal nga sistema sa panggobyerno?
Kanagong pag-change na to sa kanang pamalawa, dili mo ginapwede o kanang anhi lang sa president kay lingkuran pa man sa mga lower house o sa upper house. Dako po sa trabaho uno na. Pero ako'y Bongbong, murag angay na siguro po nga usbon. So angay siguro po nga kanang atong i-go ng kuan ba kanang federalism kay murag naay po yung mga advantages nga nakita nato kay kanagong atong balaod ron ang natutukan na is only ang NCR magot national to ara dito ang mga dagkong proyekto which is diri sa ato labi na diri sa Visayas mintaron sa Mindanao murag buong ang Mindanao nato kong income moagi mag national which is federalism na murag dako ta og pahat ni gid sa atong kanang region muna nga ug ako'y presidente murag uyon po ko ang federalism nga ipadayon pero gadepende lagi na kay daghan pa man nagproseso di man na basta-basta kuan yun.
So maura to Vice og salamat sa paglambigit sa imong mga panan-aw sa pagpropose anak nga issue.
I am for federalism. I am for peace. We can do it now, I said. We'll just wait for the passage of the law.
Before we proceed to the face-to-face interview, I just want you to inform that I send her in advance my possible questions that I might ask to her. So, good day, ma'am. I am GC Pandavilla Garciano, and I am a second year education student of Bohol Island State University main campus. I'm here to conduct a short interview. Are you familiar of federalism?
Yes, slight.
So can you elaborate or explain or define your learnings about federalism?
Federalism is a form of government in which a constitution distributes powers between a central government and subdivisional governments, usually called states, province, or republic. The concept of federalism means that citizens must answer to at least two governments at the same time. Those two are federal government and the state government. This concept helps divide the power, not allowing the national government to gain too much power.
So, do you believe that federalism is suitable in the Philippines?
Yes,
Can you please cite one benefit of federalism?
I believe that the ultimate solution to the chronic problems haunting our country is federalism. The federal system of government is the key to achieving national peace and economic prosperity in a diverse society such as the Philippines. Federation or federalism allows regions to retain the wealth they generate instead of sending most of what we call over to Imperial Manila. So, regions and provinces will be economically developed and prosper with federalism. And
So, in conclusion, you are in favor that federalism will be suited or adapted in the Philippines. So, I think that's all. And thank you for your time, and I hope your day was great. Thank you.
Naniniwala ako kay Duterte kasi naniniwala ako sa federalism. Naniniwala ako na dapat dumating ang panahon na hindi na lang umaasa ang Luzon at ang Mindanao at ang Visayas at ang Palawan at ang ARMM sa isang matatawag natin Imperial Manila. Nakikita naman natin lahat ng epekto nito. Pagka merong sakuna, pagka merong katulad nung sa Tacloban, kailangan ba ang magdesisyon pa mga taga Manila? At itong Bangsamoro problem, ang kailangan ba ang magdesisyon taga Maynila pa? Naniniwala ako, dapat tayong lahat ay may kanya-kanyang kultura tayo. Lahat may kanya-kanya tayong tradisyon. Kaya dapat tayo ay federal.
Nasayod ka ba sa sistemang federalismo?
Instead nga one government for the entire country, it divide into different states nga na ay own autonomous na government for each.
Kung ikaw ang nasa show sa atong presidente karon, muuyon ba ka nga ipadayon ang sistemang federalismo o ilisan ang Republican Democratic nga pamaagi?
Actually ako personally, did you ko agree na lang on my surface level understanding about federalism. Resources ba dili siya equally divided among different na areas sa Philippines. So i-cut off nimo resources from one, let's say state from another, binata nga term unfair and dili siya suitable for the people. Also, sa kadaghan sa mga issues nga tumang sa Pilipinas, dili siya matagan og attention, especially nga galisad pataron economically. So, og kana ang mamapada dyan nga idea, ipada dyan nga system, maglisod dyan ang Pilipinas. Mahimo nga cost kay welfare noon sa mga tao. Very, very backward si Joe, considering role dyan sa dapat sa government is to give the people what they need, what they want. So, yan.
when you speak of revising the Constitution, especially changing the structure of our government, ay kailangan ito talaga ng mahaba o masusing pag-aaral. At I would rather have the Constitutional Convention revise the Constitution rather than the Congress. So, mas maganda kung isang Constitutional Convention. Pero, in addressing piecemeal amendments to the Constitution, mas makakatipid tayo if through the constituent power of Congress. Dahil ito naman ay binigay na kapangyarihan ng ating saligang batas.
Hibaw ba ka nga unsa ang federalismo?
Ana nga unji sa ato ang konstitusyon dugay naman na ibalhin sa bisan asa nga mahiuyon ta nga pamaagi sa atong panggobyerno. Kita demokratik man ta. Federalism imo ang ibalhin. Kung dili man na tingali na sa style sa panggobyerno ato makitaan ang mugaway sa saka publika. Depende na sa ato ang mga tao sa itong mga leaders kung unsa taka sincero na muduma o mga nasod, either federalism or democratic. Depende rin yun na to.
Kung ikaw ang pabuton, Padre, muuyon ba ka ang usbon ang atong transition sa usa ka Republican Democratic nga i-convert into parliamentary federalism mo?
Ato ang panggobyerno tunay daghantang usbon sa itong konstitusyon gumikan kay wa na mahiyon kayo sa ato ang panahon ron. Pero kanang panggobyerno nga angay usbon dili sa tingali para nako ang usbon na to is kanang the way we serve sa ato ang mga tao. Kay kung atong usbon ang panggobyerno unya kita mga tao wa mausab the same maura gyapon ta. So kinahanglan na nato ang usab na nato sa kaugalingon na una.
The evidence directly supporting that claim. He says political science studies show no consensus that the federal form of government works better than the existing unitary form of central government.
The advantages claimed for federal over unitary systems read more like statements of faith than reasoned arguments. We're going to change our constitution based on faith, okay, not on arguments.
With my partner, Guy Fernandez. Thank you for allowing us to interview you today. We'll begin for the Justice Minister. Are you familiar with federalism? Can you define, sir, federalism?
I believe there are definitions about federalism, so I would like to introduce federalism to you as for me, federalism can be listed in a family wherein parents will have at least 18 children. And we say this 18 children, the fact that it's quite a large number of people in a certain house, they need to have this kind of independent ownership of their own life, in which they are given the authority to take control of their own financial, emotional, and their status, in which being a certain state, a child has its own independent state that creates its own foreign direct investments, welcome opportunities to other countries, at the same time in which businesses is a pole in which there are more opportunities for its people to gain more profit, for the sake to gain more profit, at the same time to be able to stand alone, in which it stands where during calamities we don't need to direct, we don't need to have this kind of direct independent, dependent connection to the parents, which is the national government. And then by means of that, because we are independent, have created our own financial standards. We don't need to rely to them, and we have our own preparations. And that way, there's no certain expected delays because the opportunities, the resources, it's already near to us, or it's really with us in our own home. And then at the same time, it can be understood as a certain controversy back then with a multi-million dollar and multi-million budget for a certain cubicle, in which there are 3 cubicles in a certain corporate room. And it's supposed to be not that way. So in a federalism, it's supposed to have its own block or accountability, its own wall that no one touches directly, and it has its independent word to lead the country or to lead its own state without the appearance because there's no block. Anyone can see your dirt, and anyone can directly touch whatever single steps we're trying to do. And federalism is giving us such kind of armor or barrier for us to realize our own understanding to certain situations, and the needs of our own leadership to stand alone and help or control what's within our own boundaries.
So, do you think, sir, federalism is suitable for the Philippines?
It is suitable for the Philippines. The fact that yeah, it's suitable for the Philippines. The fact that we are able to each states, for example, for this certain regions, we have our own states, so we don't need to rely to the national government whatever is happening to our region. For example, what happened in the Typhoon Odette, it took like after 5 months for us to get the other relief or the financial assistance. It's because of the form of bureaucracy that is under the unitary system of our country. And the same, if there was federalism, we don't need to depend too much on the national government, in which it has its center control to whatever we do in our local state. When having the province of Bohol or Central has its own state, then we don't need to have so much expectations for delay, because the people of the state itself has its own budget, has its own direct supervision that no one has to get or needs for supervision for us, for our leaders to do their responsibilities and serve our country or serve our country and help them.
So, last question, sir. If ever there will be change for the form of government, which may prefer federalism over democracy?
When there is federalism, there is independence of how leaders should lead its people. And I think democracy still present in the form of federalism by means that through discussion, through debates with certain leaders during in a form of Congress, in a discussion, the meeting of the minds and him or that leader being representing the people he leads is a form of invitation to a freedom of expression, a freedom of intellectual capacity, to the things that would help empower the country, progressive by means of its economy, by means of its culture, by means of its power to be united again. And I think that the most important part in federalism is that it is created, it is for the people, of the people and by the people. So that's the best representation federalism.
Pagka nag-federalism, magbabago yun dahil yung federated state ang siyang gagawa ng sariling polisiya para sa kanyang state, sa kanyang lugar. At kasama na dyan yung itinatawag na fiscal policy, yung polisiya kung paano ang pagkolekta ng buwis. Alam naman natin, hindi naman lahat ng local government ay pare-pareho. Kaya meron nasa tabing dagat, meron nasa bundok, meron very developed, meron rural na rural, very agricultural. Kaya iba-ibang pangangailangan ng bawat lugar. Kaya dapat napigay natin ang kapangyarihan dun sa mga lokal para makapag-decide kung paano ba ang patakbo natin dito sa ating lugar.
In a place where it is archipelagic, multilingual, and multicultural like the Philippines, it is more logical to actually have an administrative setup that is federal in character. In the system, there are states or regions that will be established, and these regions will have a sense of ownership over the population of the states or regions. Based on the responses we have received, transitioning our country from a Republican democratic state to a federal parliamentary system of government is a good choice, considering that regions or the state governments will be given the power to elect, initiate and formulate policies in addressing the needs. Or in other words, there is a better understanding of local issues and demands. Despite the benefit that we Filipinos can have upon considering having a federal system of government, there are also risks to be considered. The first one is to abuse the power. Second, unfair distribution of resources. Third, there might be state governments who will have hard time pairing with other regions due to the way how the leaders lead. But the bottom line is that no matter how many political ideologies the government of the Philippines will propose, if the constituents or the people will not participate, then the outcome will be just the same.